Hello, teachers, parents, and educational leaders, and welcome to this episode of Breaking Down the B.E.S.T. Now, during this episode, you will get a peek into the members-only area where I have tons of resources to help you make math fun, make it click, and make it stick. There should be a link somewhere around this video where you can learn more. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it, and let's break down the standard. Welcome to Breaking Down the B.E.S.T, a video series dedicated to breaking down Florida's B.E.S.T standards for math. So grab something to write with and maybe even a snack. This looks good. And don't forget to put a smile on your face. There you go. I see you. And let's dive into today's B.E.S.T standard. Hey everyone. My name is Sarah McCarthy and I'm super pumped that you are joining me as we break down the following standard, which is MA.4.M.2.1. And the standard says to solve two-step real-world problems involving distances and intervals of time using any combination of the four operations, which includes addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. By the way, usually I have my iPad with me and I'm highlighting and marking it up as we go along. My iPad's giving me a little bit of trouble, so this is what we're gonna have to do today, okay? Sorry about that. And also, this document that I've already marked up all over is not something that I created. This is something that the Florida Department of Education releases to the public, and in these episodes, I'm just showing you how I break down and process the standards in order to create the resources in taking on the B.E.S.T that are strategically aligned to the B.E.S.T standards for math. Okay, so let's check out these clarifications. It says, problems involving fractions will include addition and subtraction with like denominators. In fourth grade, with fractions, we're working with those like denominators when it comes to adding and subtracting, so that makes sense. And also multiplication of a fraction by a whole number, that's what we do in fourth grade, or a whole number by a fraction. And just keep in mind that we do have a limit on denominators, and those are right here: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, and 100. And within this benchmark, the expectation is not to use decimals. Which standards are related to this one in fourth grade? Well, we have MA.4.M.2.1, which involves measurement conversions. I would also venture to say that 1.1 does as well because it deals with length and with time, and that's what we're working on in 1.1 for the measurement strand. Where are they coming from? Well, in third grade, they practiced telling time on the clock, determining the time on an analog and digital clock, and also elapsed time, which is 2.2 for measurement. Just ignore these little notes right there. That was something else I was working on. Purpose and instructional strategies. Here are some things that jumped out at me. It said the purpose of this benchmark is to connect concepts of unit conversions to time and distance, and to solve problems with these conversions. In grade 3, students solved 1 and 2 step elapsed time problems. They absolutely did that, but they were not converting units of time or crossing from AM to PM and PM to AM. So they were just working on those elapsed time problems, but there were limitations to them in third grade. In fourth grade, students may need to understand multiplicative comparisons. And that's when we're saying like 2 times as many, 3 times as long, stuff like that. Or 20 is twice as many as 10. For instruction, an open line strategy is something that students can use to solve elapsed time. This is my favorite way to show elapsed time, to model it. And that students do need to spend time crossing between AM and PM. We are bumping it up in fourth grade. So third grade, again, they've had exposure to elapsed time, but they never cross between AM and PM. So this will be new for them. This also says that students should have a firm understanding of the terms like quarter hour and a half hour, which is something that if you have access to all 3 grade levels, the third grade taking on the B.E.S.T bronze resources do contain video lessons on those. Common misconceptions or errors. The biggest thing is that when we're crossing into a new hour, it can be confusing for students because it does not follow the typical base 10 pattern that they're used to. Instead, it goes from 12 all the way around. When you're counting up the minutes, it goes to 59 minutes and then switches. That 60th minute becomes the new hour, right? And then with your hours, we're not counting by tens, we're going all the way around with 12. So because it's not following those same base 10 patterns that we're used to, students can be a little tripped up with that. These are two examples. This one is involving distance, so you can take a look at that. And this one is involving time. So you can see that we're doing those multi-step problems, real world problems involving distance and time. Cool. All right, I think that is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you have access to with your membership. So here we are on the home page. You just click Members Enter here, select Taking on the Best, then click on 4th grade. We're going to scroll down to the M strand for measurement. And the one we're working on is 4.M.2.1, measurement real world problems. So the first page that you come to are your bronze resources. The bronze membership, the silver membership, and the gold membership all have access to these video lessons. The first one is measurement real world problems involving time, and the same thing for the next one, but instead with distance. So you've got 2 episodes there with 2 printable guides that you can easily just click and print. But we're going to take a closer look at these in just a second, okay? Because I want to go into the silver resources. All right, so here are your silver resources. You've got your printables, your answer keys, and the math misconception mystery video. Let's go ahead and click on printables, and these are your printables. So you'll notice the video lessons, those are on the bronze page. This is the one involving time. So here it says, Terrell has soccer practice twice a week, from a quarter till 4 until 4:30. So using that terminology. And then Kyle has soccer practice for 3 times longer. So you can see here we're incorporating everything, including those multiplicative comparisons that were mentioned in the standard. This one we've got Connor takes a 1/3 hour walk to school, including that vocabulary like round trip right there, and then converting into minutes. So also, you notice there's not a reference sheet here. So make sure that your students are equipped with a reference sheet before you have them go into solving these problems, okay? Because they're not expected to master or memorize that reference sheet. Got some extra practice with time. This is with distance. Okay, so you can see here, Nancy sprints 100 feet and she doubles the length. If this pattern continues, how many feet? And here we're going from meters. There's a problem involved there, and then eventually it's converted into centimeters. For here, we've got perimeter, so we're incorporating our perimeter standard into this involving fractions. You can see that fractions are there. We have our limitation, 4th is fine to use. And another one, okay? And then we have math tasks right here. So these are measurement real world problems. So this says that a family is going on a vacation to a cabin in Tennessee from Fernandina Beach in Florida. They left at 6:15. It's going to take 8 hours and 30 minutes. So they will cross over from AM into PM with 20-minute breaks, stopping 3 times, all that stuff. So it's a lot of incorporation of time, and then down here we're involving the distance there. Super fun. All right, and then last but not least in your silver resources, you have the math misconception mystery sheet. All you do is you click play and I'll guide you through the whole thing in the video. First, students will solve this problem, and then they will watch as 4 characters solve that same problem. 3 of them are making mistakes, and only 1 character solves it correctly. And those characters are just me dressed up in silly costumes with silly accents. It's super fun. After they watch that, they'll fill out their detective report and determine who the most reasonable answer belongs to, and then evaluate the work of the others. So that is fun. Okay, so that's it for the silver, which is a lot. But if you have the gold plan, you have access to everything. So you can go back to those bronze and silver resources at any time. You have these breaking down the best episodes right here with all of your resources within the same standard. And it's also ad-free. These videos are also available on YouTube, but they do contain ads, so it's a nice little perk of being a gold member. You also have access to a mini assessment that you can use as a mini assessment or just as extra practice. Here are some questions that you can see. Take a look at them. See the real world problems. We see minutes and time and miles and all the kinds of stuff. So students are really having to think, and that's the big thing here, is that students are having to think and understand what's actually happening in the problem. That's your answer key. And then most people select the gold plan, the gold package, because they want McCarthy Math 155 with it. McCarthy Math 155 is a daily math intervention that I created that's aligned to the Common Core standards. So we've now shifted into the B.E.S.T standards. Still a lot of videos that you can utilize in this program. The 155 stands for 155 video lessons for each grade level. So if we click on 4th, you'll be open to the portal of all 145 videos that are packed into units. So I'm just going to scroll down to some measurement. You probably want some measurement conversions. That might be what you want to pull from this one, but there really aren't like heavy measurement word problems in there, but you can definitely use that measurement conversions. There's 9 extra video lessons just on these kind of measurement conversions. When you click on it, just so you can see, you've got the video, you've got your printable right there. And they say day 116, day 117. Again, it goes all the way up to day 155 because it's a daily program used for Common Core. Okay, so that's what you have access to with that. And going back, you can see that McCarthy Math 155, you have so much to pull from. So have fun with that. All right. Okay, I think that's it. So I hope that this episode helps you to better understand this standard. Now you know what the expectation is, and you also know what resources you have to be able to start using today with your instruction and with your students. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And before we go, I just want to remind you that what you choose to do with your life, it really does matter. Thank you so much for showing up every day for your students, for stepping into your leadership role, for showing students what it means to step into the best version of yourself so that you can inspire them to also step into the best version of themselves. So thanks for all you do. Thanks for inviting me into your educational space. I know you're busy, so I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Okay, so I know that I just said goodbye for now, but I'm gonna ask you to do one more thing, okay? If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with your teacher friends or other leaders in education. That's how I get to continue doing what I love to do, which of course is supporting you all to the best of my ability. All right, for real now. Bye.